Well, hey everyone, after service chat, King of Kings Fellowship, Pastor Scott here. Thanks for joining us. Today is October 1st, 2023, and we are continuing at church going through the book of Revelation. Today we went through chapters 4 and 5, talked about the great throne room of heaven. If you want to know more about that or have always wanted to hear somebody talk about those things, you can tune into that on YouTube, our YouTube channel. Oh, I forgot what it is. KOK Fellowship, I think. Type in King of Kings Fellowship Lethbridge and you'll find what you're looking for. Again, I'm not going to talk to you about that today. If you want to find out more about that, please feel free to tune into those services. Today, something came up at the beginning of my message, and it came up, I think, because I often get asked the question, maybe you've asked it yourself, how do you know if what you're reading in the Bible is what it seems on face value? Let me give you an example. In the book of Philippians, there is a verse that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Most of my life, I have heard this verse given as a promise to us about the mighty and amazing things that we can do as Christians. We can do whatever we want because Christ gives us the strength to do so. And so, obviously, there are some challenges that many of us have with that, or at the very least, some questions, because if you said that you wanted to be 10 feet tall and you were 5'11", chances are Christ isn't going to give you the strength to do that. So what does that verse mean in context? And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, in context. Probably the best and simplest way that a Christian has to determine much of what is said in the Bible has to do with reading around the verse. So if I were to pull that verse up, that would be Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. And I'm reading from my phone here. It says, "For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength." So to find the context of that, all I have to do is read, in this particular case, a few verses in advance. Let me tell you what it says. Go back to verse 11. "Not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to be content with whatever I have." Verse 12. "I know how to live on almost nothing, or how to live with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or with little." Verse 13, "For I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." So all we need to do is read 3 verses and we instantly realize that what Paul is really talking about is the ability to be content in one's heart as it relates to whatever situation God might have you in. If you are in a season of plenty in your life, can you be content with that? Some people aren't. Some people are actually very discontent who have a lot of stuff. On the flip side, are you a person who can be content having little to nothing, believing that God is going to provide for all of your needs during that season when you don't have stuff of your own? Paul is saying contentment is the goal. And so, "For I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength" is a confession of contentment. And that's, I think, what I really wanted to say, was to give you an example of reading a Bible verse in context so as not to just suddenly cherry pick one verse out and run with a promise that actually isn't true. If you have more questions about that, you can feel free to reach out to me, Scott at kingofkingsfellowship.com. I would be happy to answer any questions you might have. For now, though, join us Sundays. We are in the book of Revelation. I would love to have you. Bring a friend. Bring your questions. God bless you. I will see you soon.